this is working properly. If it is, we should be live on YouTube right now. Let's check out you. All right, sweet, we're live. I just wanted to double check that. Hey, it's Ray, and we're going to be going. Oh my God, I can't believe. We gotta shut this down. Anyways, let's go through analysis, of course, starting with really with news. So it's not going to be a crazy week. I bet next week is Tuesday, Friday. Yeah. Yeah, so this week is going to be chill, like 1 to 3 trades a week. USD news in the morning, 10 a.m., which I'm not really fond of for Forex. Thursday, potentially. Here's 1, 0 to 2 trades, 2 really good trades for each Forex and indices. We're going to go through both. Forex first, because that's the fundamentals right there. So going light with 4 good, high quality, low hanging fruit trades, it's going to be a good week. Okay, so let's begin with dollar. On a 6-month and 1-year frame, we are rejecting off of a bullish order block. As you can see. I want to make sure this works. Like a perfect person. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Okay. Streamer mode is enabled. I don't know what that means or really what's going on. Anyways. So yeah. And it's the beginning of a month. So we could see it pull down to shoot back up. We did kind of created a new high. It wicked up there, but it didn't close. So really, we're still in a consolidation market, right? And we're literally in the middle of this range. So in order to realistically trade, we have to wait till price, see what price does up here, and see what price does right here. Until then, we're stupid if we trade in the middle of that. I'm going to go through everything to see if, to find those little setups, you know what I mean? That 0 maybe for Forex. So once a PD array is hit, I like to make it a little less prominent and dramatic so I know on lower time frames that it's been ran through. So there's month, weekly, this has got to go. Weekly. What do we have on the week here? I'm not going to mark anything. There's nothing good here. There's an old low from last week. That makes sense. We'll put the old high here to reference. We ran through this pretty close above it. So there's a potential we could see price run down here, then come back up. That's got to correspond with dollar though. For our fair value, we're going to create some alerts for when price does get a premium or discount array. That's really it. We're not trading until we get to there. This is interesting. This for sure just screams bearish. Watch out for this liquidity void. There's monthly fair value. Right there, so we might see price come up. Continue bearish, the bearish trend. And that monthly fair value does overlap with lower time frame PD arrays. Maybe. So that's interesting. The reason why I still see it as bullish is because price is not returned to equilibrium like this has and like this has. It's been weaker, right? If it was stronger, it would be at equilibrium to match everything, but it's not, so that tells me GU wants to go lower. Let's notify ourselves of when stuff starts going on around here. Let myself know that this has been ran through. Straight barcode forever now. So if we do trade this, it's going to be a consolidation kind of play. Let's bring this up. Hold high, hold low. That's on the weekly. On the daily, we have a liquidity void, rejection block since price closed lower. This looks real nice. We'll scoop some liquidity above here, fill in this liquidity void and fall lower. That's a trade for the week. We're going to add that to weekly move. That'd be nice. 200 pip move. Be really nice. Yeah, it's a weekly play right there. It's been filled in, rejected very nicely. It's a new month. Might go up a little bit to go lower because in general seems like we're going lower. especially off of this monthly rejection right here. So if we're going lower, we're going to look for a premium to sell at. There's a nice liquidity void right here. Weekly LV. Technically, it's a fair value. Yeah, I'll just keep that there. Ooh, if it lines up with there, that would be crazy. Close enough. We're gonna trade, we're gonna sell right there, just in case. Yeah. We're gonna watch price around here. Dude, 30 pip stop loss would cover that move. Even if it does just bounce around here, 30 pip stop loss would cover it for potential huge gain. So that's a great, great move. I love that. Alright, on the monthly time frame, we have this liquidity void right here. And some kind of rejection block right here, aka liquidity. They're going to be somewhere around there, so there's liquidity right there. This is filled in pretty nice. It's all been traded through, there's no gaps. So let's get really fundamental here. Are we seeking internal, external? Well, we're overall extremely bearish. It's crazy how the Swiss franc has been fallen. So even though we're bearish, might it come up here? Let's see if the way that's possible is if we really got some internal liquidity, or external. So on a bigger time frame, this is internal, but on a smaller time frame, it's just been external, extremely external. So we did just grab some internal liquidity here after external, internal. So let's look in terms of what we can predict, what our job is, which is last week's range. You need the closing above it or below it. Alright, so that's it for the weekly. That's all I see on the weekly is just, that's all we can mark out is this old high and this old low. Weekly fair value was just hit what, today? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Day started what, an hour ago? 58, less than an hour ago? That little void, which I waited for all last week, was just filled in within the last 58 minutes. Very, very interesting. This liquidity void, up to fair value, was hit. So I'm no longer interested in that. It's much weaker. Let's see if this monthly liquidity void is still active. Yes, it is. So price is really gonna CHF. We're gonna know by tonight, guys and girls, what CHF really wants to do. I doubt it. I doubt it coming all the way up here. Maybe up here. That seems reasonable for a high news event. 65 pips. This is totally fair value right here. I'm gonna sell this, actually. Daily liquidity void. Put an alert on this one. Okay, daily liquidity, daily liquidity. We're in this range. We found the range. It's very good. Old low. We're gonna delete these old lows for now, just because we want to focus, right, on what we have right here, which is this and this. And this is a regional low by liquidity. So maybe we can see Monday, Tuesday high, comes down, lowers, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sweep, and come up to a new PD array. So this makes sense to my eye. I know what I'm looking for. I see where I'm at. And it's very, very clean to me. I have one of the, not to be biased, but I have one of the cleanest charts I've ever seen. So it's explaining why I do it this way and how it makes sense. Okay, I think that's it. I'm looking for a Monday, Tuesday high. Go over. Add that to the weekly moves. USD CAD. So this year, external range liquidity was hit. That's very nice. Now it's basically sought and hit internal range. So honestly, look at that. And it's rejected on the year to the month. Okay, on the year, it hit this bullish order block. Price went above, came down, retested a bullish order block on the year. I'm sure we'll find something nice on the 6 month. No, let's try 3 month. It closed above the mean threshold. Plus there's this 3 month liquidity void right there. That's nice. That's nice. I think I'm gonna make a decision that I'm a little bullish right now. Even though I'm very, very bearish on dollar overall. I don't know why. I would like to see this go higher. That's all I'm gonna say. So let's break that down on the just next weekly level. Yes. We'll keep that there. So this is a weekly liquidity void. And there's a weekly bearish order block. So there's our range. It's going to go here to here. And then let's mark out last week's high to low. There it is. There's the trade. Hold high. We can see it sweep last week's liquidity, hit this weekly order block, and fall lower. That's the trade. Maybe we'll have a Monday, Tuesday low, and then buy up. That's a trade. So this looks good. USD CAD looks good this week. I'm going to set an alert to watch what happens. I bet this could hit like equilibrium, right? Yeah, look at that, man. That's right. That's right in equilibrium. I love that. I love that. This is going to be a nice trade. 4 hour. Yeah, so that's CAD. That's what I'm seeing. Um, this bearish order block just is too crispy not to at least mark out. That's all. That's all. Excuse me. Just see what's going on when it touches that. Probably consolidate, sweep, follower. USD JPY melted last week. It makes a lot of sense. Daily order block was hit. Threshold respected. High news event on Friday. I think this was like FOMC or something. Oh, it's non-farm. Yeah, non-farm. I don't know why I said FOMC. That was last week too. Yeah, it was. But that trade made a lot of sense. You can trade non-farm payrolls. That's what that move was. So we went to external range liquidity, which on a higher time frame is internal range. So let's break this down, see where we're at. Higher time frame consolidation, that's good. That means we can take shorter trades here. Monthly liquidity was just filled, maybe even middle of the range. We're in the middle of the range here on the monthly. Makes sense. We just hit a key level. Now we got to see what happens. Weekly, we've already closed lower or opened lower, so we're going to close somewhere from here to here. I feel like we're going to close because, or even less, maybe here, because this is going to want to fill price on the weekly time frame. It's going to want this gap closed up. So we might see there's maybe a potential trade right here. Monday, Tuesday low, closes up here, and then goes lower if this daily continues to be respected. So we're going to gray this one out to know that it's been ran through. And we're going to look at this one, this to be respected daily order block with an alert. Daily rejection. This will be the final point. If this daily order block does hold up, this will be the final point. If it gets that high, you'll just want to watch what happens. Okay, so here's our range, right? We're kind of in the middle, like we are for dollar, which is a dollar pair. I'm gonna wait till it gets up here or down here to think about moving. This fair value was smashed, this was smashed. What the fuck is that doing? Excuse me, language. Alright, that's that. Now my favorite pair. For no particular reason. Just is. On a high time frame, this is just got external range liquidity. Ooh, nice 3-month rejection block right there, just taken. Coming back down. Alright, monthly, we just, look at that. Started a new month, there's a little baby monthly. Okay. Weekly, seasonal buy. This is the old low. Okay, old high, old low. There's way too much stuff going. Price has been crazy. I've been marking a lot of stuff out. This needs to all go away. So I know it's going. Alright, that's cleaner. This is not a weekly bearish order block because it's already went lower and kind of ran through it. You know what I mean? This is a much better daily order block than whatever you try and put on the weekly. Alright, last week sold high, last week sold low, monthly liquidity void, kind of in consolidation. Might follow dollar a little bit and go up to go down. But that is my analysis on GU. I like this. I like this trade. We can totally see price come up here, fill in that void, not really break last week's old high because it wants to go lower, and it'll close lower, leave this old high intact because it's going to be a bearish candle, but before it's bearish on the weekly time frame, it gotta go up and hit something. All right, so that's Forex. Week 32. Indices. Let's go. We're going to save everything we just worked on and check out the indices. Market. Even on indices, I'm going on monthly. I've never looked at a higher than monthly time frame before. So this is interesting and fun. Alright, that was fun. I'm done now. There's no particular order I go in. But if these two are even correlated in the slightest, let's just work on something independent right here to warm up our brain. Alright, on the monthly, I don't see nada. Monthly liquidity void, that's it. This high was hit, that means this was hit last week. Last week was a record high, of course. Maybe Monday, Tuesday high, close down here, or maybe go down here to go up. No idea. That's our range. So we're in the middle of the range right now. We're just smack dab in the middle of a range right now. I don't feel too comfortable trading this. Luckily we have like 1, 2, no way there's this many phenomenal trades. I'm going to start here, but here's one. Yeah, this is one potentially, two potentially, 3, 4, 3. 4, 5. You know, there's 4 trades for sure for Forex. So if this week we gotta chill on indices, then we will. At least on Dow, right? The Dow, we're gonna wait till it gets to more premium or more discount to pick a direction. Wow, a lot has happened. So we're just gonna quickly delete. I hate when stuff is on my shit. It's too messy. I love that. We with these gaps, price is gonna want to close through it, just not wick through it. So that was filled, and that's beautiful. Also lines up this liquidity void. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's work our way back, high to low. Yeah, not much data here. Weekly liquidity void, was that filled in? No, it was not. So we could potentially see last week's high up and then going higher. That'd be cool. Here's a big liquidity void. Yeah, this is saucy, and you can see the liquidity is marked out on a lower time frame here. So, or we might see Monday, Tuesday high and see it go lower. It's really going to depend on news. You know, you'll probably see kind of Russia, China, BRICS shit, and you might see some bashing on the dollar, Trump doing something, and it goes lower. And then all of a sudden, America's the first one in Antarctica to mine shit, and then it rallies. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have to wait on politics and news. So just be wary of that. This is beautiful. Yeah, this wants to get filled in. So now that I look at it, we're gonna sweep liquidity in, but it might stay like that for a while. You know, this could run lower for another week or two and then close that in. But at some point, that's got to get filled in. At least 2 pixels, 4 hours, 1 pixel. All right, all right. So we want to put the highs and lows on the weekly. Hold high, hold low. Hold high, hold low. Very nice. That's really it. It's, we gotta wait. Patience, darn. But this is the most engineered thing in human existence to be bullish. This shit is made to be bullish. So honestly, I see liquidity getting swept. If it comes back up and gives us a nice inverse fair value gap, liquidity void, and touches that, I'll buy. Got a lot of shit going on over here. Messy, messy, messy. Last week was popping. 4 hour rejection block. True. True. Old low. True. Schmink schmau. Hmm. All right. I see it grabbing some liquidity lower and then going up. We're going to put this old weekly, technically fair value. It would be much beautiful if price closed lower than this low for fair value, but it only wicked lower, so it decreases the probability. Mm. High or low? Here's an old low, here's a daily rejection, and a 4-hour liquidity. So we're going to want to see price come here perhaps and then reject off of that, and that might correlate with ES, with this liquidity. So whichever has the SMT divergence on that, on this move that we can see for both, we're going to be trading that. So it's potentially a trade this week, maybe it's more of a swing trade this week. There's no way you can scalp in the middle of the period. You just don't know, you'll get burned. You gotta, if you want to increase your odds, you gotta wait. So that's it for indexes and Forex. I hope this was very insightful. We'll touch base at the end of the week to mark up what happened and analyze it and keep on making money. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This hair won't be here next time. I thought it'd be cool to have like a Fire Lord Zuko or some kind of more Japanese-esque hair, but no, I just look a little crazy. So we're gonna get a haircut and